Hey guys, what is up? It is True Live, and I'm bringing you another WMKQ Presents Life Stories. This is an actual story that I have, and I actually rape face in this game with my spaz. Sometimes I don't like the spaz because it's inconsistent in my opinion. Sometimes it kills in one shots, whereas other times you'll get 4 or 5 hit markers. But it's a good gun all around. And also, if you could please check out my channel and check out my new background. I spent a lot of time on it. I think it's better. Kind of fits the mood of my channel a bit better. It's kind of like a blueprint kind of looking thing. If you guys like it, then just let me know, because I want to please you guys. And I'm also working on a background for someone who might give me a shout out who on a channel that has about 7,000 subs. So I'm working on that right now. We'll see how that goes. He said depends if he likes it or not and all that, but just thought I should give you an update. But let's get into this amazing story. It is, I don't even know what the title is going to be, but it's going to be somewhere around drugs or crime or something, but I'm going to give you a bit of backstory. After my parents divorced, we moved, I moved with my mom. I still see my dad every second weekend, but I moved with my mom to the southwest from the south, well, it's from the southwest to the southwest, but it's like two opposite sides of the southwest. It's kind of hard to explain, but so we're now further up north, and we went into these little, I don't know, little apartment things while our house built, because we were having a custom-made house, and once we did move in, the southwest is known for probably like the best part of town, like crime-wise. Northeast is the worst, and southwest is about the best for crime and stuff. So I think that's why we moved out here. And yeah, so we moved, and then yeah, we waited, and then our house got ready, and we were one of the first houses in the neighborhood. Now there's hundreds of houses here. It's actually kind of cool, because before it was all ravine, and now it's all like houses, and I saw the difference. Not many people I know have actually like seen this entire place like come up from the ground, but it was one of the first houses in this area, and yeah, it's kind of cool. But first, when this thing came up, when this neighborhood came up, West Springs is where I live, that's when the neighborhood came up, some crazy stuff happened. I guess beginning neighborhoods are more notorious for crime, instead of, like, once neighborhoods start finding their identity, I guess crime starts going down a bit or something like that. But my neighborhood was insane for crime. About every second or third house was a grow operation for marijuana, and what they did is they had pit bulls, and then when the police would come, they'd let the pit bulls loose, and yeah, the pit bulls would go after the police, and yeah, it was pretty scary. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but yeah, it was lots and lots of marijuana. Let's just say that. And then as time went on, the houses started getting worse. There was a horror house down my street, where there was always girls walking in and out along the street, asking people if they wanted anything in particular. I think you know what I'm talking about. And a lot of these places got shut down pretty quick, but they just kept on popping up really, really fast. And most recently, this was just about a year ago, the neighborhood has calmed down a lot. They, I forget, it was within like a week they busted like 30 homes. So I think the city of Calgary realized that this was a very high traffic area for marijuana and stuff like that. So they just sent in like crazy amount of cops, and yeah, they all busted a bunch of marijuana ops, completely cleaned them out, sold them for low prices. Because you can't really sell a marijuana house for full price. I don't really know why. After it's been cleaned out, I don't really see the harm, but mostly, yeah, they were sold for lower prices to like a lot of families and stuff, and then that's kind of how the neighborhood got back to a good reputation, not many crimes going on, and now it's a good good neighborhood. But last year, this is a crazy, I think this is the last like crime in our neighborhood for a while at least, because it was pretty insane. The house behind me, well, the house behind me to the right a tad, like it's probably like 10 feet away from my house, 30 feet away from my house, somewhere around there. It's our backyards kind of almost touch, and it seemed like a kind of a nice couple. Like it was well, I don't know, they seemed average. It was like two young people. They were both really built, and yeah, they moved in. Our family knew them a bit, but like we had talked like from backyard to backyard. Never went to their house or anything, but and then one day I was walking home from school and I couldn't go back through the way I normally did by his house, by this person's house. Instead, I had to go around the long way, and I could see there was a SWAT team and a bunch of cop cars where his house was, and I was like, "What's going on here?" So turns out the guy was a very, very big weapons dealer to criminals. So his entire house was absolutely full of weapons of all sorts, and I think he had pit bulls as well that he let go when the cops came. But when you have the SWAT team, pit bulls aren't going to really be able to do much, and it was pretty insane. That house, it still hasn't sold. I don't know why, but I think it's like if you buy that house, you have to be under cop surveillance for like a year or something to make sure you're not like picking up the big business or something. So I think that's why it hasn't sold. It's really cheap. There's actually a note on the front. There's still the eviction notice or whatever. It's I've read it a couple times saying that this house, like, he can't enter this house or something, and I don't know. But I'm pretty sure he went to jail, and he was a pretty big weapons dealer, or at least that's what the community gossip is. And yeah, so that's kind of my how the neighborhood has progressed. It went from a very, very high level marijuana grow up area to what is now lots and lots of kids, which is always good. But yeah, there's lots of kids, lots of young couples, and actually for a while there, before the family started moving in, there was more dogs than people in our neighborhood, which is kind of cool. But as families moved in and they had kids, then the amount of dogs kind of went down. There's about one dog per house almost. It's a very dog-friendly area, and that's good. I love dogs. But one more little story I guess I can add on here. It doesn't have much to do with crime, but more about my neighborhood of fun. Which I do love this neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood. It's not really... It's kind of close to my friends. It's about a 40-minute longboard ride to a couple of my friends' houses, and like a 20-minute from a couple others. So it's not too bad, really. Driving, it's probably like a minute away, 2 minutes away, 3 minutes. So it's definitely not that bad. It's a pretty good neighborhood. But this story's pretty crazy as well. Might as well tell you guys. There was a dog named Toby. Toby was a nice dog. He lived with some people near my house, about half a block away from my house. And, well, he was supposed to be a guard dog. That's what his job was. He barked a lot and jumped on cages and scared people to death, pretty much. He was notorious in the neighborhood. Everyone knew Toby. When you said Toby, everyone knew you're talking about the dog, not some crazy pedophile in the neighborhood. We're talking about the dog here. And Toby is now not with us anymore. But this is why. There was actually a garage sale, and they were walking Toby down the street, I think. And it's kind of sad because Toby, once you got to know him, he was really nice. I walked by a lot walking to school. At first he barked a lot, and then as I talked to him, he got really nice. And I actually pet him a couple times, which is kind of scary once I tell you what actually happened. But there's a garage sale, and there was a kid riding a bike near the garage sale, and Toby was walking by, and Toby actually bit this person's, I don't know if it was their full finger off, but definitely like cut most of the bone off. And I think Toby either had to be put down or something like that. I haven't seen him since. That was like 2 years ago. But it's kind of sad because Toby was a good dog. Once you got to know him, it's just, I don't know, maybe he had too much protection for his owners and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a pretty big deal when that happened. I was actually home. I heard the scream when that happened. That was kind of scary. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this little neighborhood special. And why don't you guys tell me some of your interesting neighborhood stories down below. Leave some suggestions for more topics, stories, whatever. And yeah, have a nice week. Peace.